Rev up your engines!
Eric White says, did Elon and GM finally come for Scotty, or is this a time zone thing? You got to start the shows up at least half an hour ahead of time or it won't notify anybody. So I do that, but I always say, remember, Scotty will be here in so many minutes at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's when I start. And then on Thursdays, it's 1 p.m. Central Standard Time in the afternoon. As for them coming after me, it's kind of funny because I called out all the makers of electric cars and I've called them up, say, give me an electric car for a year to try out. Long term, short term, driving it cross country, cold New England, hot Tennessee, towing if it's a pickup. How much can it actually tow? We got a nice trailer here for towing things. Guess what? None of them got back to me. Of course not, because they are full of crap. They know these electric vehicles, the stuff they advertise is a bunch of nonsense. That, oh, they can pull this, they can tow this, they can go this far. Not in the real world. Oh, I'm still calling them out. They want to bring me one. I test them out honestly. My theory on this is probably the first one to send me an electric car will probably be a Chinese company when they're selling the $6,000, $7,000 ones over here, because they send me all kinds of electric scooters, electric bicycles, because they stand behind their stuff. And you know, if it's a little car for commuting, that's what it's made for. I would try it out that way. I wouldn't try a little commuter car out driving cross country. No way. The range would be too short. As per usual, they haven't brought it out because they're full of crap, paying for advertising, lying about how their things work when they actually don't. If they sent me one, I'd test it honestly. Maybe it would prove me wrong. But they're not showing me, so as far as I'm concerned, they're still all full of crap with electric cars. Sarudicus, and he says, Scotty, love your videos, thanks. When do you think OBD3 will come out? Will it be wireless in law enforcement? Who knows who else can get it? It probably would be wireless, but I don't think it's going to be quite some time before they come up with it for many reasons. People don't like their loss of freedom of information where everybody can get a hold of it. They lose their personal freedom of, hey, you know, who's watching me? Big Brother watching me? It costs more money to update them to that. And there's all those arguments now in the Right to Repair Act that, hey, if they're going to have wireless information, they have to allow anybody, including the owner of the car and independent mechanics like myself, to access that data. They've already shut down that stuff for, I believe, Subaru and Kia in Massachusetts because they said, well, we can't do that, so we'll give nobody the information. I think it's going to be a long time before they actually get OBD3 out. Anthony G says, I took mine to get repaired. I've been waiting forever. They can't figure it out. I gave them a huge list of other stuff to do, and they can't figure out what's wrong. Hell, a serious mechanic can only do one thing at a time. I know everybody's into this multitasking crap nowadays, but humans, and especially men, most mechanics are men, it's just the way that it goes. I've met a few women mechanics that were good mechanics, but it's not really something that most women want to get involved in. Heck, most men don't even want to get involved in it now. There's a shortage of mechanics technicians these days. If you have a mechanic that's doing all these different things, and your car is one of the many things he's doing, he probably won't do it right. If they've had it for weeks or months, obviously they're not even interested. I would take it away from those guys immediately and go somewhere else. They want to have the will to do one thing at a time and get it done, road test it, and then get on to the next one. And that's not how it works at many garages. The best mechanics, they'll put them on the biggest money-making thing. And if a bigger money-making thing comes in and say, Joe, stop working on that stupid thing. We're losing money. Here comes a big money maker. And then the owner likes it because he's going to make more money, and the mechanic likes it because he's going to get paid more for his percentage of it. So go someplace else with that. Just forget it. They obviously, either they're not interested or they don't know how to fix your car. Jaden Garlic says, Scotty, my transfer case on my Ford Ranger started leaking. What does it mean? Is it fixable? 99 Ford Ranger. Well, anything's fixable. What you want to do is figure out where the leak is coming from. So what you do is put a little bit of ultraviolet leak dye into the transfer case. Drive it, and then get yellow sunglasses and a little UV light. They sell kits on Amazon everywhere. You can buy them. Then see where the leak's coming from. Pray it's just the sides where the shafts go in and out, and then you take the shaft off, put a new seal in, and put it back together again. That's normally where they leak from, is the shafts. It's very easy to test with UV leak dye. Simple thing to do. Justin Shepard said, I got an idea for improving cylinder deactivation systems. I know you said it can have uneven heating, distorting, bores, blocks, because the oil doesn't flow right. They're not at operating temperature. On a V8, why not shut down alternate 4 cylinders? instead of the same ones to make it even out. It'd minimize the hot and cold spots and ensure they're used evenly. The only issue I could see would be nuisance vibrations, since it wouldn't be even at times. I agree these systems are silly. Don't drive a V8 if you don't like bad miles a gallon, but that's the government for you. You'd get more vibration. It's bad enough that you got vibrations the way they are now. It would be even worse. And of course, the main reason they made V8 engines was because they had power and they were smooth. If you're going to put all these stupid systems to deactivate the cylinders on them, you no longer have a smooth engine. So they're not going to be doing that. I mean, it was an interesting idea, exactly, but they won't be doing it because you want a smooth engine, and it would go against why the engine was designed in the first place. Get a smaller engine. If you want less power, get a bigger engine. More power and torque. The V8s, of course, have more torque than an inline engine. They're just torquier engines. Shutting them off is just stupid. And you could play with it till literally hell freezes over. You'd never get a system that works perfectly. There's probably always going to be a problem with them. If you got an engine that was made to run all 8 and then you only run some of them, or if they do actually shut the compression off, then that's got to be shut off and turned on, and then that system will break. It's just stupidity. Well, the EPA's at it again. The Biden administration is now mad at the United States Postal Service for replacing their aging postal trucks with mainly gasoline-powered gas hogs. Now, you know, they said, oh, they're going to use electrification, blah, blah, blah. But the contract is only for 10% electric vehicles. 90% of them will be gasoline. And these new ones are only getting 0.4 miles a gallon better gas mileage than the old clunkers they had. And those are gas hogs to begin with. And you have to realize that the old ones only got 8.6 miles a gallon. I mean, these things are gas hogs, right? They're whining about the deal that they already signed up for. Now, let's face it. If they made them all electric trucks, who's going to charge them? Who's going to fix them? I mean, that technology isn't even proven out yet. At least they're making a wise decision not doing it. Forecast to be $11.6 billion to replace 186,000 of these vehicles over the next 10 years. Who knows what will happen between now and then. The people in Wisconsin are really mad because Oshkosh Company Wisconsin was supposed to build them, right? And they thought, great, jobs in Wisconsin, because all of Oshkosh's factories were in Wisconsin. But then Oshkosh turned around after they got the deal and said, we're going to build them in South Carolina with non-union labor. So, I mean, everybody's mad about the postal trucks. And when you think about it, it's kind of funny. There's the government that said they're going to invest $11.6 billion in new postal trucks for the old technology of snail mail. The government is so far behind the times, I'm amazed that they're still not driving around in horse and buggies. Well, Mercedes-Benz has just patented a new technology to blow cool air on your hands right out of the middle of the steering column to keep your palms from getting sweaty. Now, they got a patent for this. They haven't actually built it yet. They said they can have all kinds of sensors to make it the perfect temperature, then you don't notice it, blah, blah, blah. Brilliant idea. I guess the Germans don't bowl much. All the bowling machines got the little one before you bowl. You put your hand over the fan at the end of the return. Took them a long time to figure that one out, didn't it? And of course, they're making it so it can also have heated air if your hands are cold in the winter. Ooh, all this technology, of course, will be controlled by computers because it's Mercedes. It won't just be any old air. It'll have to be computer controlled. I mean, we have gloves, right? If it's cold, put on a pair of gloves. And then they say, oh, well, maybe it'll do your palms too, but then it could go into your chest if you're hot in the middle, since you're in front of the steering column and it's coming out of the middle of the steering wheel. Bowling alley technology and Mercedes-Benz. Well, if this comes to fruition, it would be a good idea. There's a Norwegian startup company that claims they're going to be making an 8-seater vehicle, a 620 electric vehicle range. Now, that's something. It's called the Fresco XL. It can hold 8 people, or you can fold back seats down and make it a little cargo. Now, they haven't built them yet, and the price is going to be $112,000. So they're not giving them away. And since it's a Norwegian company, they say that it's going to be made for cold weather. It's the wrap on a lot of the electric cars. I guess if anybody's going to make a good electric 8-passenger vehicle, it would be the Norwegian or somebody in Scandinavia where it gets really cold. Now, so far, people have described the renditions of it as an Apple Magic Mouse with lights on it. It's kind of a weird looking thing. But I mean, this is all just conjecture. They haven't actually built them yet. I kind of wonder myself about having that kind of range. 620 miles. And also take in consideration that as it stands today, the company only has 6 employees. So the 620 mile range, 8-people carrier for $112,000 may end up being just a Norwegian pipe dream. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.